Organized labor has been one of the strongest champions of immigrant rights. What lessons can we all learn from labor on how to bring about progressive change?
I'm very fortunate. The last 5.5 years I've been working very deeply involved with the labor movement, not just on immigration, but other similar issues. And then before then, I spent almost 6 years with the Coalition for Humane Immigrant Rights of Los Angeles. And that's where I really learned to really develop the policy skills dealing with immigration reform. And combine those two together, I feel like I'm in a fortunate position that I can help the labor movement improve its approach to immigration reform. And the labor movement, what they teach us is that movements don't happen overnight. It has to be an institutional framework to preserve the advances that workers make on the ground. Otherwise, you're always constantly fighting these fires. And some of the major union organizing campaigns here in Los Angeles have adopted this approach, and we can learn to apply the same approaches in the fight for immigration reform. Labor also has to confront the divisions that have been happening with both major labor federations relating to the issue of immigration reform. I mean, there's been some deep divisions. We've all been part of it, and many of us in this room in the work for immigration reform. Most notably, the issue of future flows. And we really can't run away from that issue. We're going to have to face it, and especially the labor movement. And when you talk about issues of guest workers, temporary workers program, what's the best approach so that 20 years later we're not dealing with immigration reform issues again? A real question is what kind of future flow program would be viable and just, and one that the labor movement that we can unite around. Last week, it was a good example of really the ability of the labor movement to unite and really take a strong approach. They came together, the major union presidents of all the international unions and the presidents of the two major labor federations came together and talked about unifying. And one of the main reasons they came together was because the Employee Free Choice Act. I mean, the only way the labor movement is going to win that battle is for them to be unified. I think the same applies to immigration reform. I think the labor movement really needs to come together, not just on local level, but on national level on this issue and address the issues that are dividing them. Last year, I was fortunate enough to have worked on a process with Marilena Durazo and the Los Angeles County Federation of Labor to adopt unifying principles on the local level for the labor movement. It wasn't easy. You know, we had some tough internal discussions about some of the major issues that have been divided in labor, but we were able to adopt an immigration reform platform that's unified the LA County Federation of Labor. I think that's the same approach we need to take on the national level. Thanks.